Hey, this is Lynn out in Arizona. Dr. Mori asked me to do a short video. I reached out to him. He had done the video on a new hood with some black material and I believe some tribal on it, and I asked him where he got it and whatnot. And he said, hey, why don't you try your hand at stitching your own? And so I thought about it and I did. So I went to Joann's Fabric and went to the outdoor section, and they had this pattern here, which is kind of like some spirals or some tribal-y type pattern. It has an embroidered edge at one end, so I didn't have to do anything on there. And then on the inside seam that holds the two ends of the fabric together, I don't know if Dr. Morney knew this when he asked me. I don't have a sewing machine. So what I did, if you can see this in the light, I did a hand stitch, did a running back stitch right here across like a seam allowance of a 1/2 inch. And then once I did that, to keep it from fraying, on the outer edge of it, I did a whip stitch, which basically loops around the material as you work your way across with the needle and the thread to hold down the ends to keep it from fraying. And on the far side, I did another back stitch here. And then what I did is on this back stitch, it goes on the outside, and I did a hem. And that was to keep the end down and no fraying, because there's basically a hem all the way across the other side. So this hood, I call it the AZ hood or the Wanderer hood, is about 38 by 38 across. So I think it's right in between the two UV hoods out of Michigan, the two different sizes they offer. So it's outdoor fabric. So I'm going to try this. The UV hood is my go-to, but I'm going to start trying to do some hikes, maybe some campaigns with this, and see how this works. And I guess I'll report back once I know more. The one thing I may do is it has a lot of white in the pattern, as you can see here. In the past, I've done black walnut vinegar dye on some cotton linen type cloth. That's worked to kind of like gray it up. You can see my environment here is a lot of brown, very little green and whatnot. So the white stands out a little bit. So I may do a coffee ground dye on this to see what it does to kind of darken it up a little bit, give it a little bit more blending with my environment. So this is the hood that I did. Like Dr. Mori says, like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions or whatnot. All this hand sewing videos I found on YouTube. Just did hand stitch. Dr. Mori had originally suggested I do like a flat seam or a French seam. There's videos on that. I did the whip because once I got in and I did that original seam with that back stitch, it seemed the most practical based on the amount of seam allowance I had left. So if you have any questions, post them in the comments. Not too bad as far as the amount of time it took to do them, the seams and whatnot. So again, if you have any questions or any comments, go ahead and add them in the comments. Thanks. Have a good day.